Hey guys, welcome back to episode 4 of the UDT Recreate tutorial series where we are recreating Outlast and the camera system in it. So at the moment we're working on the zoom in functionality. So we've got our condition here and we've made all of our variables. So I'm going to drag out from here. We're going to do a less than. We're going to make sure it is a float. We're going to select our minimum field of view. We're going to drag that one into the bottom. And then from the top here, we're going to drag out, we're going to go minus float. Make sure you drag this one into the bottom or it will create some issues. And then from here, we're going to set the bottom one to 10. We need to get a reference to our field of view. So to do that, you select your camera, drag out. You drag out from there and you go get field of view. And then drag that one into the top. So basically what this does is it gets our camera's field of view at minuses 10 every time that this thing is activated. This will be activated every time. When you move your mouse, it's like a little click you'll feel as it goes down. Every time one of those clicks is activated, it will fall upon this. So every time it does one of those, it zooms out by 10. Or in this case, zooms in, sorry. And this one here is basically checking that it's not below the minimum field of view. So if it tries to go below 20 to like 10, then it will reset it. So to do that, we need to make another thing back here on the true and false statements. So we're going to go set field of view, follow camera. And then we're going to create another one of those. Connect that up again. And then I'm going to get the minimum field of view again. We're going to put that into the top one. Let's see, we need to get our current zoom and then set that. Connect that there and connect that there. And then we need to plug that into false. Let's move that up there so it looks a little better. So what happens here now is it checks to see if the minimum field of view is less than whatever, it checks to see if the field of view that we're updating is less than the minimum field of view, so if it's less than 20. If it is less than 20, then it sets it to the minimum field of view, so it can't go below 20. If it isn't less than it, then it sets it to the current zoom, which will be coming out of here. So what that does now, if I save that, come in here, if I scroll in, it'll scroll in as far as I've set it to, which in this case is 20. And for now we can't scroll out, so I'm just stuck like this. But as you can see, it looks exactly like the one from Outlast. It's got a little bit of sway to it. I'm going to come back in here, and we're going to comment upon this, and we're going to call this the zoom in system. I think I spelled that wrong. SYSTEM. And then I'm going to go ahead and select all of it. I'm going to copy it and paste it again. I'm going to come back down here. We're going to delete zoom in. This time we're going to get the zoom out function. And then we are going to, let's see. On this one, we're going to delete this and we're going to make it a plus instead. We're going to set that one to 10 and then we're going to connect that up to the top one. This one is less than, we need greater than this time. And make sure this one here is on the top and this one here is on the bottom, or else you'll have some issues. Let's see. We're going to delete the minimum field of view and set that to default. Connect that one again. And then we're going to connect that back up. And that should be it. So we're going to compile, save, come back in here. Now when I zoom in, I can now zoom out. Zoomed out really quick there. What was that? Ah, I've got minimum field of view set here. That's why that needs to be default. There we go. Now if I try that again, I can't zoom out from my default, but I can zoom in and then I can zoom out at a normal pace. Probably zooming a little quick here, but you can see that it has its little clicks for every 10 field of view. You can change this, so if you want the zoom to be smoother, you can set the field of view here to a lower number, so you can go to 5 there and -5 on this one. It's up to you. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly rename this from zoom in system to zoom out system. Now we don't have any UI to to let the player know how far they are zoomed in at the top, like Outlast does. So We're going to come back into our HUD, we're going to go to our designer, and then we're going to find the slider, we're going to drag that in. And then just so I make sure I give you guys the right sizes. Now, I don't have any little effect to change the way this one looks. If you do, you're more than welcome to add one, but I'm just going to keep it default for now. I'm going to anchor it to the top middle section, and we're going to reset its positions. I'm then going to align it 0.5 by 0.5. I'm going to make the size of it -200 so that it gets bigger, but it also switches sides. And then we're going to make size Y as 40. We're going to leave that as is. We're going to make position X 0 and position Y 50, so it comes down from the top. We're then going to come under style, and then under where is it? Ah, sorry, here it is, minimum value. We're going to set this to 0.2 on the minimum value, and the maximum value is going to be 0.9. The reason why we set it to those two numbers is because if we come back under here, my minimum field of view is set to 20, and my default field of view is set to 90, so I don't want the bar becoming any higher than those two. And then we're going to come under bind, we're going to create another binding. We're going to call this one zoom percentage. And then I'm going to make sure we got a bit of space to work with here. So we're going to do the same as last time. We're going to cast to third person character. And then going to drag out. We're going to go get player character. We're then going to get the connection going there again. And then we're going to drag out. We're going to get our battery storage again. I'm on the wrong one, sorry. Sorry about that. I confused myself there looking at the wrong thing off my other monitor. We're going to get our current zoom. We're going to drag that into a percentage of a float. We're going to set that to 100. And we're going to drag that into here. Make sure this is 100. This number here won't matter if you've changed other numbers previously, like I mentioned in the other episodes. This one here, as long as it's 100%, will work fine. The reason for that, by the way, in case you're wondering, is because the actual number that it gives us on our field of view is in tens, so it goes from 90 all the way down to 20. But when we go back into our designer and we look at our value here, it goes from 0.0 up to 1, so it'll instantly max out because it can't go any higher. So we have to divide it by 100, so it gives us a decimal number, so it's 0. whatever. So now that we've set that up, if we go compile, save, and then come back into here, you'll see it's now at the top of our screen, and now when we zoom in, it'll suddenly jump to the start there, and then it'll go around like that. Now the reason for it doing that is because it doesn't update until it's called upon, and then it instantly flicks to the other side. So what we have to do there to fix that is come under our event begin play, and then we're going to continue on from create HUD, and we're going to go and get a set current zoom, which we already have. And now that we've done that, we now need to get our default field of view and then connect that. So what this does is that at the beginning of you launching your game, it will go event begin play, it puts our HUD on our screen, and it will now make sure that our current zoom is set to this, which will then under here update it here, because this reads our current zoom, and before by default it was set to 0 because we hadn't played it until we zoomed in, and at that point it was already too late. So now you can see whenever I press play, it's already at the far left side of its bar, and now I can zoom in and it goes all the way, and this is now my max amount that I'm zoomed, and it doesn't go past that, and I can zoom all the way out, it comes all the way back out. Okay, so there's one more thing that I want to add with the UI. This is more just a visual thing, but again, down in the link below, I've added a little thing that I made on Photoshop, which is just a little recording thing, because in what's it called, Outlast, there's just a bunch of different little things on the UI here, on the HUD, sorry. But I figured it wouldn't matter if I added all of them or not, but I was just to add one little one just in case people don't know how to do it. Sorry about that, I've been talking so long that my voice is starting to get a little sore. But all you have to do is add an image and just drag it onto your canvas panel, as you can see I've done down here. And then from that image, we're going to come over here, we're going to select whatever you call the image that I have down below in the description. In this case, I've just called it rec. We're then going to orientate it into whichever spot you want. For me, I have mine set up in the top left, so I'm going to make sure that it's anchored there, which it is by default. I'm then going to reset its positions. I'm going to go ahead and then add 50 to both the X and Y position, just so that it comes off the border a bit. And then on size X, we're going to leave that as 100, and we're going to leave size Y as 40. We have no reason to change those two. And that's it. All it is just a little UI element in the top left there. So now if we come around, we can play the game. We can press N and then we toggle our thing and it turns the camera down a bit. We can pick a battery up, we can reload, which fills up our battery storage. We can zoom in and out, which moves the scroll wheel, but at the moment we're permanently in our camera's HUD. We have no way to turn it off. So we're going to go ahead and add a way to do that now. So for us to be able to do this, we need to have a way to toggle our camera, and to do that we're going to have a create HUD, which we already have. We're going to have to make another function, and this one will remove the HUD. So to do that, we're going to need to make another function. We're going to call this one remove HUD. Sorry if you heard that burp. We're then going to open that up, and then we're going to drag out from here, and we're going to go get all widgets of class. Then going to select our HUD. We're going to then drag out and go remove from parent, and then connect that there. That's all you have to do for that part. So we save that and we come back into our event graph, and then we're going to make a toggle camera segment here. So we need to also make a bind for it. So if we go project settings and then find our input, call this one camera toggle, bind this to mouse 2 or right mouse button, and then we'll get camera toggle, drag out from pressed, we'll make a flip flop, and then we will go make another variable actually. Call this one is HUD active, make this one a boolean, and we'll compile that. We will drag that one out, we'll go set, and then you connect it, duplicate that, and then make sure the top one is set to active. Make a little bit of space between them, and then we'll connect the bottom one as well. We're then going to drag out our create HUD and then connect the top one, and then our remove HUD and then connect it with the bottom one. So basically what this does is the first time you press this, it will run option A, and then option A, when it's executed, will check to see is HUD active, or check to see, sorry, it sets HUD to active, and then it creates the HUD. And then the second time we press it, it'll run option B, which will set HUD to active and then remove the HUD. The reason we have these two is because if our HUD isn't up, we don't want to be able to activate our night vision and all the other stuff. So we now have to come back in here for the rest of our code and then add a couple more things. I'm also going to go ahead and add some comments to them later on once we're done, but for now at least, we can drag out here, move that one a bit closer, and then make a branch, and then we're going to connect our is HUD active to it. And now this will check is HUD active. If it's true, then it will run the rest of our functionality. Now we can go ahead and name this. This one here is our NV on/off, and then we go dash can't turn on if less than 0 NV battery. Now we come down here, drag our event tick out a bit, add a branch to it, and then again add is HUD active. Drag these a bit closer because they're a bit far apart. Then we go ahead and comment on this one. I'm going to remove the print string here now because we no longer need that. We're going to call this one our if NV on is true, -1 from NV battery every 0.2 seconds, and then that should be it. See the reload system. Need to add one more here. So we go branch, and then connect is hard active again. Move these over a bit. Zoom in system again. Connect another one. I don't know why I didn't do this in the first place. I'm gonna copy paste them. That way it's just a bit quicker. Make one for zoom out as well. A bit more space, it's a bit cramped. There's one more thing I forgot. Our create HUD here, we have to remove that because by default we don't want that HUD on. We'll name this one, we'll call this set current zoom on begin play. Compile and save that. So now when we press play, our HUD isn't on by default like it's supposed to be, and we can press mouse 2 to turn it on. You can see our battery's not running. We press N, our battery will slowly deplete down. We can't reload by pressing R, but if I pick up one of the batteries here, you can see now I have a battery in the top right. I can press R to reload. That will continue to tick down. I can just pick up another battery if I want. I can now zoom in, I can zoom out. One thing that I should let you know with this night vision, the way it works, if I was to drag up this floor and then cover the roof and put no lighting in here and then compile the lighting, you wouldn't be able to see anything. You need to put some lighting in the area. If you want it to still have the effect of being dark, just make sure that it is little light, so it's very little, and then the bloom and the exposure will make it seem a lot brighter like you'd see in a normal night vision in any other game or real life. Anyway guys, that is the end of this series. If you enjoyed this series, let me know down below in the comments, or if you have any other ideas for videos similar to this where I recreate a game mechanic or system from another game you like and want to see, let me know down below in the comments and I'll get to it. Anyway guys, that's all for now. See ya.